After a game 1 in the East, we get a game 7 in the West semis, Clippers and Nuggets. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray 6-1 in their career in elimination games for LA. Paul George 7-8. Kawhi just 2-4. SportsCenter on the road, presented by Rocket Mortgage, as we welcome in our senior NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski from the Orlando bubble. Woj, what are you hearing about the pressure within the Clippers organization to win tonight to set up that highly anticipated matchup with the Lakers?
Hey, Jay, there is tremendous pressure on this Clippers organization, especially with the Lakers rested and waiting in the conference finals. Everything that this Clipper organization has done over the last couple years has been to prepare to go through the Lakers to get to the NBA Finals. The Lakers signed LeBron James in free agency. The Clippers signed Kawhi Leonard. They trade for Anthony Davis. The Clippers go and get Paul George. They both competed for Marcus Morris in a trade with New York. The Clippers get him. The Lakers signed Markieff Morris as a free agent. And, another element that I think there was a sense around the league and in L.A. was that in the bubble environment, there might be a little bit of an advantage for the Clippers against the Lakers because they know in a 7-game series in Staples Center, even the Clipper home games, sometimes they feel neutral, sometimes they feel like a Lakers home game. And right now, the Clippers are trying to fight against the free fall of not even getting into this finals. They face a Denver team that feels like in a game 7, they've got nothing to lose.
Nothing. They are not afraid. Let's move on. Woj, 6 head coaching vacancies right now in the NBA. Give us a few updates, starting with the Sixers gig.
Yeah, Philadelphia, Jay, Mike D'Antoni, the former Rockets coach, Ty Lue, the top assistant with the Clippers. They're both on a short list with Philadelphia. Philadelphia is also taking a look at their front office structure and making a lot of decisions at once. Chicago, New Orleans are both teams who've been taking their time with their search. I think the Bulls you're going to see narrow their field down to perhaps 3 by the end of this week and bring some guys in for final interviews. And New Orleans has been really patient. They've got a very good young team, a team that could bump into the playoffs next season. And I think, New Orleans feels like they have, as a young roster goes, real opportunity in this marketplace to get the coach they want.
Woj in the bubble with the latest. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
And Seth Greenberg here with us to break it down. So happy to be with you in person, my friend.
Great to see you guys. You've been absolutely incredible the last 7 months.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We are happy to be with you in the studio and really happy to talk about this incredible matchup. So you have Jokic and Murray. They've combined for 52 points averaged in their 3 wins in this series. And honestly, it just seems that the Clippers have no answer for Jokic. Really, they can't stop him. They don't know what to do with him. So I bring it to you. You're the expert. You're coaching this game. What sort of adjustments do they need to make defensively?
He's a brutal matchup, and you put him with Murray in a 2-man game. In their wins, they have 73 points in their wins. In their losses, obviously 52. But here's the deal. You can't give him a consistent look. You got to give him different looks. You got to change up your defensive coverages because you got to take him out of his comfort zone. Maybe some zone, maybe switch sometimes, maybe trap him. But you can't let Murray and Jokic take over this basketball game. You've got to eliminate one of them. The way to do it, keep them off balance, change your defenses, and then give them different looks to make them react to you. The other thing you got to do is, if you're not scoring the ball, you better sit down in the stance and get some stops. When the Clippers struggled scoring, they stopped defending. And you know what?
Gotcha.
That doesn't work.
They're not getting those easy transition
Exactly.
buckets as well. All right, so let's talk about pressure. That's really the theme of this, is that these guys are playing loose, and these guys have the weight of the world on their shoulders. They bring in PG3, they bring in Kawhi to take on the Lakers, and here they are. They're in a game 7 against the upstart Nuggets. But you know as well as I do, a lot of times in these situations, it's really not about the big stars. There's that X factor, that other guy who pops up. So for each team, give us an X factor.
Yeah, for the Clippers, I think it's going to be Patrick Beverley. You think about in game 6, all right, the last 10 minutes, Beverley's out of the game. All right, they get outscored 26-17. They need his personality. They need his toughness. They need his ability to create offense out of defense. Because when you're struggling scoring, you got to get some easy baskets. You got to play ahead of the defense. To me, I think Kawhi Leonard had Kyle Lowry, that toughness, that leadership guy. The Clippers, they need Patrick Beverley. On the other side, Michael Porter's been absolutely incredible. With him on the floor, they're plus 27. With them off the floor, they're minus like 35. Why? Because Michael Porter can knock down shots. And when he knocks down shots, you got to stay home with him, which opens up the floor for Jamal Murray and Jokic to play that middle ball screen action, which opens up the floor for Jamal Murray to get downhill, get in the lane, and make plays. So those two guys really important. Patrick Beverley, his leadership is so important. His toughness is important. And Michael Porter, not only is he making shots, but I'll tell you what, in Game 5, he came up with some big rebounds.
And the thing is, these guys are used to these Game 7 scenarios. A first team to play 4 Game 7s over the course of the last couple of postseasons, and they lost a bad one to Portland at home last year.
They're a good team. They're not a gimmick.
Get over the hump. Yeah, they are resilient. They're tough. Never say die. It's going to be a fun one.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.